Vámonos.
Okay, Jessica, 1, 2, and 3. Let's go.
Let's get it. Okay, Delia, right?
Yes.
Beautiful. All right, Delia. So, I want to make sure that I'm fully prepared for our meeting later on today. Just a couple questions to ask you. Tell me more about what has you thinking about selling? What's important to you about making this move this year?
I think we actually just got a job relocation recently. I mean, it's not that far, but we definitely want to be closer to it. So we're just
Yeah.
looking to for more convenience to have close access to a commute, due to a job change.
Got it. So just a better commute due to your job change. Tell me more
Yes.
about that. What are you doing right now?
Yeah, so I currently work in accounting, and I recently got a job a little further more towards Corona del Mar. So I'm currently in Orange County. That's quite a huge commute. So we're
Yeah.
definitely looking to move closer to the San Diego County line, where
Okay.
the commute will be reasonable.
Got it. Okay, so definitely want to move closer to the San Bernardino or the San Diego County line just to be closer to your new accounting job. Okay, and how long have
Correct.
you been doing that? Accounting.
You know, I've been doing it for 3 years.
Nice. How do you like it so far?
It's good. It's good. Definitely a lot of time spending at a computer crunching a lot of numbers. But it's a
I'm
really good
sure
career.
it is. There's always going to be a need for accounting, that's for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So let me ask you this, Delia. When do you have to be closer to your job? If you could have it your way, how soon would you like to be there?
I will probably say like in the next 30 days. I have already given a 2-week notice, and I'm supposed to
Okay.
be starting the beginning of February, like the second week of February. So I'm kind of giving myself between 30 to 60 days. The company that I am going with actually will pay for my relocation. So as far as moving any furniture or appliances that I have in my current home, they will help me with that.
They're going to help you with that. That's awesome. Okay, good to know. So 30, 60 days. We're starting at the perfect time then, that's for sure. And did you have a price in mind as far as what you're looking to sell it for realistically?
I was looking at another townhome that actually sold nearby. It sold for like close to 820. So I'm kind of looking at the high 700s, mid 800s. I don't want to be unrealistic either, but I still want to make the highest, you know, like net that I could possibly take from it. So I'm kind of
Right.
looking around the 800 if possible. I did the floor replacement. It used to have carpet, and I
Okay.
redid the countertops as well.
Okay. So you put new flooring in and you said new countertops. Nice.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. And do you still have a remaining balance on the property? That way I can put together a net sheet for you.
I do. I have like around like 350, like in the 300s.
350.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. Well, we definitely got a lot of equity to protect, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
okay, so you said you put in new flooring and new countertops. Is there anything else that you did that would increase the value that I should know about?
Just the lighting, the kitchen lighting, it used to have outdated lights, so I did do upgrades with the lighting of the kitchen. Just
Okay.
primarily the kitchen and flooring was the major things that I did.
Okay, the lighting, flooring, and the countertops. Perfect. So on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you say the condition of your property is in right now?
I'll probably give it a 10.
A 10? Okay, perfect. So it
Yeah.
doesn't need anything really, sounds
No,
like.
the property has a lot of pride in ownership. We've taken really good care of it.
Nice. Okay.
And we definitely hope that we could find someone that will be able to take over this home and that will also care for it as much as we did.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. It's when you take such good care of the property, I can totally understand why you want to find someone who's going to do the same thing that you do. Okay. And so there's 10 out of 10, you say. So let me ask you this, Delia. Is there anything specific that you're looking for in the professional that you do choose to hire to get this home sold for you so you can get closer to your job?
I think definitely transparency, and good communication. I have
Of
not
course, yeah.
personally I haven't personally dealt with like agents, bad experiences with agents, but I've had peers and friends that have, and it didn't sound like fun. So I definitely want full transparency and good communication, and that they will actually do their due diligence to be able to attain the end goal.
Sure. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it just sounds like you want someone who can get the job done so you can be closer to your job.
Correct. I'm very
Yeah.
well grounded with numbers, so numbers is not my problem. Kind of looking at other properties, and seeing what they're going for. It gives me an average or median idea of what it could go for. But I would definitely appreciate a realtor's insights too.
Oh, absolutely. Because as a real estate professional like myself, we study the market every day, day in, day out. So that'll be one of the first things that we go over. Now, if when we get together today at 2 and you feel confident and comfortable that I can be completely transparent with you, communicate at a very high level, and most importantly, get this property sold so you can get closer to your job, is anything really going to stop you from putting me to work and getting you one step closer to your job when we meet today?
I think if it makes sense for me to work with you, if you based on what you could show me, that it will appeal to me, then I think I'm ready to pull the trigger.
Okay. So if everything makes sense, it sounds like you're ready to go. All right.
Yeah.
And Delia, are you the only decision maker as far as selling the property and getting closer to your job, or is there anyone else helping you out with that?
I actually have my father in it. We had purchased when I had finished college, so he is like my joint tenant, but I am primarily the one that kind of makes decisions regarding to the home.
You're the primary decision maker. Okay.
Mhm.
So is it the type of thing where he just goes along with what you say, or how does that look for you?
Yeah, he was very supportive to help me actually purchase this first home. It was my first home after college, so I'm very blessed to have that he helped me with that. So we actually came in as joint tenants under the purchase, but he's pretty supportive about me making this move.
Okay, nice. And is he going to be moving with you?
No, we just kind of purchased this property together.
Oh,
But no,
okay. Got it.
he wouldn't be moving with me.
Okay, perfect. Let me make note of that here. So are you okay with signing on his behalf, or should we make sure that he's at our appointment today?
I think it's okay for me to sign on his behalf.
Okay,
If
perfect.
if we decide to move forward, I'll definitely communicate that to him. If anything, we could just kind of FaceTime for him to be present as well, virtually, just so he could know what's going on. But other than that, he will have no issue if I were to decide to move forward to sign.
Right. Okay. So it sounds like if everything makes sense, he's good with it as well. Perfect.
Correct.
All right, Delia. Well, I'm really excited about meeting you and seeing your house today and really just putting together a game plan on how we're going to get you closer to your job. So I'll see you today at 2.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
And you do have the property address, correct?
Yes, I have you down here at 123 Banana.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. See you later on. No problem. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, knock knock.
Hi.
Hi, Delia. Nice to meet you. Thanks so much for having me over. How are you?
I am doing well. Nice to meet you as well. Yourself?
Yes, I'm doing good. Thanks so much for asking. Do you want me to take my
Beautiful.
shoes off or anything, or?
No, you're fine. Come on in.
Okay.
It's a little bit messy, so just please disregard that.
Don't worry about
It's
it.
Friday, busy week.
Thank God it's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be okay if we started off with the quick tour, Delia? I'd like to take some notes and kind of ask you a few questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. All right. Looking around the house. All right, Delia. Now, what would you say is your like main part about the home that you love the most?
I'll definitely have to give it to the
For
kitchen.
the kitchen? Yeah, I love this open layout that you got here. And you said that the countertops, I remember you were telling me earlier, how long ago did you put in these countertops?
That was actually like a year and a half ago, kind of like in the middle of the whole pandemic when everything was slow. Yeah,
Okay,
I did it like a year and a half ago.
year and a half ago. Okay, so they're still super new. All right. And are you planning to leave anything to the next buyer by chance?
Am I planning to what part is?
Are you planning to leave anything for the next buyer? That way, any prospective buyers, I can let them know.
I mean, the microwave is already built in, so I wouldn't be
Right.
taking that with me.
Of
I
course.
think I'll pretty much leave it as is.
Okay. So just the microwave, everything you're planning to take, washer, dryer. Okay, gotcha. All right, perfect. Is it okay if we lay everything out here on the kitchen table?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. Well,
Yeah,
I got some
come on
really good
in.
notes, and we'll go over them when we go over the pricing and looking over the comparables. But first and foremost, I just want to thank you again for having me over today. And I want you to know that my goal, Delia, it's not just to sell your property, but it's really to help you accomplish every single one of your goals in the process. So before we dive into anything, I just want to quickly recap on what you told me earlier. Obviously,
Hmm.
you're planning to relocate, get closer to your job, make sure that commute is not so hefty, because right now you're in Orange County, right?
Correct. Yes.
Exactly. Okay. And then when I asked you how soon you wanted to be there and closer to your job, you said 30 to 60 days is your time frame. Is that still the case, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay, beautiful. So let me ask you this. If I found you super motivated buyer and they're ready to buy this house, would anything stop you from moving in the next 25, 30 days? You think that would pose a problem for you?
Not at all. Like I said, my company will arrange like a moving company for me. So thankfully, that's one less thing that I will have to worry about.
Right.
So no, to answer your question, that wouldn't be an issue.
Okay, perfect. And that's awesome, by the way. I've never heard of a company offering that kind of service and help.
Yeah, I'm definitely very blessed. Thank you.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. And when I asked you how much you still owed on the home, Delia, you said you only owed about 350. No
Correct.
second liens or anything. I didn't see any solar panels on the roof or anything, right?
No, no solar panels.
Perfect. Okay. And, we kind of went over briefly about the price and what you were looking to get for it. You said high sevens, mid eights.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. And we'll be sure to go over the comparables and what's really going on within the last 60 days or so. And lastly, you said that the main things that you were looking for is full transparency and someone who can communicate at a high level, right?
Yes, and someone that could give me realistic things too. I don't want to just be having the property sitting there and not bringing in traffic. As I have seen properties that have been sitting longer in the market until low. So I just
Right.
don't want it to be sitting there longer than it should.
Don't want it to be sitting longer than it should. Okay. And you know what, Delia? I'm glad that you brought that up. I love working with realistic owners like yourself because they already have an idea of what's going on. And that's one of the main reasons why sellers like yourself work with agents like me. I'm not just going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm really here to be transparent and really tell you what it's going to take to get you closer to your job. So thank you so much for bringing that up, because I do plan to show you how I do incorporate transparency, high communication to really make sure that all of my clients are 100% satisfied from start to finish. So as the agent you decided to work with, I went ahead and prepared what is called a CMA. Are you familiar with what this is?
I heard briefly about it, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm more than open to go over it again. It's like a market analysis, correct?
A marketing, exactly. It's a comparative market analysis. This is what any appraiser, any real estate professional is going to use to kind of determine the value of your home. And there's only two things that are determining a sale right now in this market, and it's just price and condition. So if we have a beautiful property just like yours, but the price is just too high, it's going to sit on the market, like you said. But, you know, as opposed to if we have a property in bad condition, but it's priced correctly, it's going to sell. So this is going to help us really determine the price that it's going to take to get you closer to your job. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Perfect. Okay. So what this is proposed of is three things. We have our active listings, which are, in a sense, our competition, right? And can you see why? You there? Delia, are you there? Okay.
I guess she's gone. Okay, I think I got disconnected, but I'm back.
Okay, no worries. So so it's proposed of three things, Delia. We have our active listings, which are in a sense our competition. And can you see why?
No, tell me more.
Yeah, well, because these are properties that are on the market right now. So they're a competition because as a buyer, you know, they're not just going to come look at your house. They're going to go out, shop, look at other properties. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, right. So this is why these properties that are up for sale right now that are comparable to yours, we're up against them. These are our competition. So we have these here, and then we have our pending listings. These are properties that are in escrow, getting ready to close super soon. And then we have our most important, our closed properties or our sold listings. So these are super important because it actually shows us what buyers are paying now in this market. Does that make sense? You with me?
Yeah, it does. I'm following.
Okay, perfect. So we'll go ahead and start with the property that we're up against, our competition over on 123 Apple. Now this one is very similar to yours, almost a model match. Built
Yeah,
in
it definitely
2012.
looks like it.
Yes. Have you seen this one by chance? Because it's right up the street from you.
You know what? I think I briefly seen it, but I haven't put much attention to it. But looking at this, it kind of does look like this one.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same property, and I brought the pictures here, so we'll look at it. It's same bedroom and bathrooms, 332, 1,600 square feet, built in 2012 again. And if you notice here, this one has been on the market for 26 days. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So 26 days on the market. They had it listed. They started at 780 and they've already dropped the price down to 765. Can you see that there?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay, perfect. So this really tells us, this gives us some good information here. It tells us that they were obviously off on the price because it's been on the market 26 days. They've already dropped it about 20,000. And I want you to see the interior here. Would you say that the condition is pretty similar to yours, worse? You tell me.
Yeah, up to a certain extent. I'm not trying to be prideful, but I definitely think mine has more of that upgrade style with a kitchen, but yes.
More upgrades with the kitchen. I would have to agree with you there, Delia. You definitely have a nicer kitchen with the new countertops that you put in about a year and a half ago. So I would definitely agree. So let's just keep a note of this one that we're competing with at 750 now. Started at 780.
And just looking at the pictures, you know, I know my kitchen faces like the sun gives a good lighting throughout the day. And looking at this home, I'm not sure if they kind of get that kind of lighting, you know, so that's kind of to me like an additional thing, natural lighting in a home.
Oh, for sure. It opens it up and it brightens it up for sure with the natural lighting. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
let's look at this one that's in escrow just around the corner from you here.
Mhm.
This one also is a 3-bed, 2-bath. It's a little bit smaller than yours, but if you notice, it does have that open concept in the kitchen, which I'd assume makes it look bigger than what it is. Same lot size. And I want you to notice how long it's been on the market here. Can you see 45 days?
Yeah, it seems like it's been quite a while.
Yeah, that is quite a while. That's more than a month that it took for them to find a buyer. So if you notice here, they were at first 760, and it looks like they just dropped the price slightly at 755.
Got it. Are you guys seeing kind of like a slower market when it comes to buyers? You brought that and I noticed that too, that they've been sitting for quite longer than before.
Yeah, that's a good question. And right now, I mean, it is typically a little slower. We're seeing that it takes about 25 to 30 days to find a buyer if we're at top of the market, and then another 25 to 30 days to actually close escrow. But you know what? As long as you price super attractively, we should have no problem selling your property. For example, I had one just the city over to you in Fontana. We started super attractively at 659, and in just one weekend we had multiple offers, and we're in escrow that next week. So that's definitely what I'm looking to achieve with you, because it sounds like that's what you're looking for, right?
So you said 659. So are you currently getting offers at listing price, or are you getting offers kind of like over listing price if you're
Yeah.
pricing at that
Good question.
price range?
Good question. On this one, we actually got an offer 15,000 over the list price. So it's still possible. Although we are in a market that's favoring buyers, as long as you, again, price the property super attractively, you're going to have that bidding war effect, and to where you have the leverage to choose the buyer who's willing to pay the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if I were to kind of price it in the 700s, do you think I will possibly be getting traffic with buyers and still be able to kind of leverage that bidding?
Yeah, Delia, I think it's definitely possible, just looking at what the market is telling us here. As long as you price it attractively and we're competing with our competition that's up for sale right now, you should have no problem getting the kind of activity that I had with the one in Fontana. And I did reach out to the one that's in escrow now for 755. They mentioned that they only had 2 offers on the table at the time, and they went with the one that was at 755, excuse me. So the appraisal already came in at value. So that's good news. That shows us that values are still pretty secure here in the area, which is good for you. So there's that one at 755. And then the last one here is this one, your neighbor right up the street. This one sold in 25 days. They started at 745 and they sold at 760. Can you see that?
Wow. Yeah.
And I thought this one was very comparable to yours. It looks like they do have the same kind of layout with them facing the sun. Would you agree with that?
Yes, that definitely looks more on point when it comes to the kitchen lighting.
Yeah. It looks very similar to yours, and this one was built in 2016. So it's 4 years older than yours, a little newer, it appears to be, and it sold over the asking price. So it's still happening right here in our area. So based on these comparables that I just showed you, Delia, what price do you feel we need to set on the home that's going to cause it to get that bidding war effect that you were just mentioning?
I think definitely looking at all of the options that you're providing me, the third one seems to be more close to this one, and not only as far as the price, that they were able to get something higher than the actual listing price,
right?
But the features of it, the condition of the kitchen seems to be more of a closer match with this home here.
So what price do you feel we should set on the home?
I will probably say like around 760, 765. Do you think that will be a good starting point?
765.
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question, Delia, after seeing the home, basing it off of what the market's telling us and what we see in front of us here, the highest sold property now, excuse me, is 755. So what I would recommend to get you the best results is to start right under 740 at 739,999.
739,999. Yeah, I was kind of probably thinking of starting from 750 and above. So if I hear you correct, you're saying if I price it at 739 that I could potentially create a bidding war.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Delia. I mean, we're seeing it here happening. The neighbor that was newer than yours started at 750 and they closed at 755. So I definitely feel and confident that if we start at 739, we'll get you that same effect, which is ultimately what you're looking for, right?
How about 750? Will 750 not be a good starting point? I mean, if I look at this one, they put it up in the market like 3 months ago, correct?
Right. Yeah.
So it's
I'm
still
glad
kinda
you brought that
recent.
up because we are in a much different market that we were in 3 months ago. So that's where I'm getting my suggested price from.
Okay, well, is it okay if maybe I think about it and I could get back to you this afternoon? I just, I know this is such a huge decision for me, and I just want to make sure that I do the right thing before I actually put it up in the market at that price, since I was kind of looking at least to start around 750. I cannot be unrealistic and put it at the 800s, knowing that, like you mentioned, the market has changed, but 730 may seem a little bit lower than what I actually thought I would be open to starting at.
Okay. And I completely get that it sounds a little bit lower than you wanted to get started at. Let me ask you this though, just because I know you mentioned you want to think about it, and I definitely encourage you to be comfortable, confident that you're making the best decision. What specifically is it that you have to think about? Because maybe I can answer some questions that you may have.
I think just making sure that that's something that I'll be comfortable with, and the fact that I definitely wanted to try to net a little bit more around the 750s.
Okay.
It's just is not what I was kind of hoping to come up with. That's not as far as numbers go. So I just have to really think about whether I will want to move forward and try to put it at that price.
Right.
Like I mentioned earlier, if the numbers make sense, I'll be willing to pull the trigger. But I don't know if I will want to kind of go that low.
Right.
I could move in the next 60 days if everything makes sense, but I have no urgency either.
You have no urgency. That's great. And that's when the best decisions are made, when you're truly not forced to make one. And we're not too far off at all, Delia. We're about $10,000 off. And at 639, after all expenses, paying off your mortgage, you'd actually be walking away with $439 in your pocket after everything. Is that a number that you're comfortable with to start your new chapter closer to your job?
I mean, it is, I think I was just very particular wanting to kind of start around the 750s, but still, okay. I know that I have a good net profit margin right there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let me ask you this. I mean, is the starting price the only thing that's holding you back from getting me started and getting you one step closer to your job?
I think that, yeah, it's like I mentioned earlier, it all goes back to the numbers. So yeah, it's kind of more on the numbers end.
Okay. I can appreciate that. So as long as we can come to an agreement, it sounds like on the starting price, you're ready to get me started. Is that right?
I am ready to get started. Yeah. But around like the 600s, may seem much lower than what I wanted it to kind of start with.
Okay, I understand completely. So why don't we do this? We can start at 650 because keep in mind, Delia, the starting price is just the starting price. It's not the end price. The market's going to tell us everything that we need to know within 2 weeks. So why don't we do this? We'll start at 650 within 2 weeks. If we don't have any showings, any offers, we know that we're then about 3 to 5% off on the price. And if we have a couple showings, no offers, and that then tells us
You
we're
said
about
650 or 750?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say 650? No, I meant 750.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was saying, let's start at 750. The market's going to tell us everything that we need to know. And we'll just be full transparency again. We'll be communicating at a high level. We'll regroup, have that conversation again, and we'll go from there. Because at the end of the day, you have to get closer to your job, right?
Correct. And like I said, I'd rather give it a shot.
Yeah.
I don't want it to sit too long on the market either, but I'd rather give it, but on the other end, I'd rather give it a shot rather than saying, what if, you know?
Right.
So I'd rather give it a shot, and maybe depending on how the days go and how many people are actually interested, then I'll be open to adjusting numbers, but I first want to at least give it a try.
Absolutely. I don't blame you. You know, this is a super big investment of yours, and I completely understand you there. Let's go ahead and start it at 650. And again, if we don't get any traction, we'll just regroup and have that conversation in about 2 weeks. So just to confirm here, did I get your name right here on the agreement?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. And we are listing 123 Banana Street, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we agreed on a starting price of 750,000, correct?
Correct.
We're okay with that? Okay, perfect. So just go ahead and sign for me right down there.
All right.
All right, beautiful, Delia. I'll have the photographer out here tomorrow, and we'll get this thing jumping and have you closer to your job before you even know it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your
thank you.
understanding.
Oh, absolutely. Let's make it happen.
It's pretty good.
Okay, let me stop the recording.